We want to understand the meaning, but it's different because meaning is different to every person. So we want to understand the message. And I must plug in my computer or you will lose me. It's old. There we go. There you go, honey bun. Don't worry about a thing. You. All right. Have juice for the baby here. And so I was cleansing and clearing as we were figuring out how to start a new live stream. Well, my assistant Donna hasn't been able to get on Facebook or YouTube all morning, and she does the posting. And so I told her to schedule a new one, and she still can't get in. And so I'm trying to figure it out. And Chris came and figured out what the reason you couldn't hear me. I found one thing that was off, audio off, but there was another setting, a different place. So it doesn't matter what happened. It matters what it triggered for me or for you, and what was the message or the communication. So if you were here with me live and we were beginning, if you watch the replay, it doesn't make any difference. You weren't here at a particular time and what you thought was going to happen didn't happen. So the interesting thing is that we're waking up. And what does that mean? That means our intuitive network is growing and clearing and reconnecting. We're noticing where we're cut off, separated, or holding fear patterns, whether it's a belief in the mind or it's an emotional pattern. It's all that we have energies that are coming to the surface. And wow, if we haven't seen the fear pushed to the surface since the pandemic and all the other stuff politically before that, and this and that, and all the goo. And it feels like chaos. It feels like things are out of control sometimes. It feels a lot of people are sucked into the grief and sucked into the doom and gloom, the worry, because we have to let go of control. So if you understand the underlying symbolism of the energies, if you understand symbolism, interpretation, and it's not just what this particular book or this particular book says it means. So if you get a frog, this happened recently in one of my, we're doing Akashic Records reading, intuitive reading certification. And these people are blowing it out of the world. You cannot believe the stuff they're doing. They're astral traveling. They're meeting other guides in other dimensions. Their intuition is exploding open because they're going on a mystery school journey. They're going on a personal journey that they have to go through the hero's journey, the heroine's journey themselves. You can't become a healer through something that tells you 1, 2, 3, now you're certified, because something within you has to change. The shaman would say you have to go through an initiation. And what is that initiation? It's a death of something. It could be who you thought you were, what job you wanted, a relationship, a move, just a natural thing where you go from junior high to high school, or you go to college, or you get married and move out of your parents' home, or whatever. There's these shifts, these changes, and everything that has held us back from intuitive clarity is being pushed to the surface. So one of the things that I'm doing a lot right now are sacral secrets sessions. And we call it that because the sacral center holds a lot of the shame, guilt, victimhood, torture, abuse, all of the deepest, gooeyest, most horrific things that we or others have done to people. And whatever belief we decided to drag with us about that wound or that guilt. And this is one of those energies that lives within you. So as we move through the cycles, and you can see it really is like a snake, and the snake is always growing within a whole new self. And the rattlesnake would grow a new rattle. And when it did that, grew it completely inside of the old skin. And so when it finally let go of its skin and it just slid out, it actually went up against something rough. So think about that for us. If you're ready to release an identity, if you're ready to release a belief, a disease, whatever, and don't get attached to like this disease in my knee isn't going away. Energetically, are you shifting? In your mind, are you shifting? The bigger part of you, your multi-layered light body, your luminous field that is encoded, it's your Akashic records, which is everything you are, have been in this life and every other part of your soul, and you can access every other dimension and so on. So as you get more practiced at that yourself, the more you have your own inner authority coming through. So it doesn't mean that when you start to expand your intuition, like my intuition awakening students do, and you start to sense more, or maybe skills you had as a child, or maybe a few times in your life, just come back full force. That happens a lot to my students. And the ones that do some private work and then they join the intuition awakening, or this one is like the power version of that, they're going through a personal initiation, a series of them. And that means shit's coming up in their life. And what the misconception is that as you become more powerful, as you become more inner focus centered like this, that above and below is a concept, because everything is 360 degrees. We need to tune into spherical consciousness, all right? Not linear consciousness, because it's extremely limited, right? And the belief you can only maybe affect the future if you change who you're being today. And of course, yes, you can. So do it today. That you can also go into the past. And it isn't that you go in the past to release something, to change something. You go into the past to release the belief that formed the wound, that formed the energetic tie, bond, shackle. Energetically, we see them all different kinds of ways, the way I do it and the way my students do it. And what happens is that speaks to you a lot of information. So as your fears come up, as you go through a bumpy road, don't get sucked into it and judge it. Go into the fifth dimensional mindset, which is no judgment. You rise up, you transcend, you accept everything. You see harmony, you understand a bigger picture, and you can then see the symbolism of what's happening in your life. So me, my partner, a lot of my students, we've had this year up and down, but the last few weeks, some really intense things coming up, old patterns, old physical disease type symptoms, just really, some of it very shocking, very absorbing, to the point where it's days to process, which is a lot for my students, because they have all these tools to cleanse and clear their light body, to rise up and out of it, to connect with their intuitive network, go into their higher self and their Akashic records, and they know how to then get the perspective, the guidance from outside of just being inside of the fear or the grief or whatever you're in, or the confusion or the frustration. A lot of people are just like, I'm so sick of this. When's it going to change? Well, it's changing right now. It just may not be changing the way that you think. If you let go of it and you drop into the moment, it's speaking a lot. So as we had these glitches, these different meanings of what was happening came through. One is, for me, not being heard. You couldn't hear me. No sound, no sound. And then I found one level of like, oh, the YouTube thing. I didn't even know that was possible. The sound was off on the YouTube live stream control panel. So I turned that off, and then I started going for it, thinking, well, there's a delay in the live stream, but 5 minutes later or whatever, no sound. So I turned it off, and I thought, well, that's interesting. Then my partner found another setting on another part of this live stream thing that was also muted. So what is that telling me? On my end, I'm being muted. I have some pattern that's telling me, or that is trying to mute me, trying to get me to not talk, or is poking an old pattern that said, no one hears you, no one understands you. I don't know. I really don't have these patterns as a daily thing anymore. However, I do know from my work with my students and my clients that we carry this stuff within us. So what you're doing by, listening to these weather reports every week, you're educating yourself to see and understand the symbols, to watch energy patterns, to understand how you're going through this up and down. And then if the serpent or the snake, which was revered as the sun, as the supreme god in every ancient culture, rubs against something rough to remove its old skin, then what if you're going through some rough things because you're removing this old identity? You can't carry your guilt, your shame, your fear, your anger towards anyone. You can't carry blame. You can't carry regret. You can't carry anger. You can't carry disappointment. You can't carry any of those. So if they're in your mind, if they're in your belief system, it's really fun to work with the clients that come to me because they're really self-aware in the sense that they're on their path or they're called to their path. They're maybe not sure, or they've been working a really long time, but they know that there's something they need to do, and they can sometimes see their patterns, but they don't see the way out. And so what this is the new moon week. And this is Sagittarius is beginning, which is an expansive and fun, yet philosophical and wise, free. All right. It's a centaur, so it's part horse, part human. And it has that strength and that freedom to run and to be this strong being that is so present and centered and really allowing. Right? You think about horses, they're very strong. They can kick your butt and they don't have to sit around and take the abuse or whatever people do to them. So there's an understanding and there's a wisdom, and horses most often represent the concept of freedom. However, intuitive interpretation is you then taking in, oh, these different people say these different things about horses. Some people say they represent spirit or freedom. And then there's the centaur aspect. And it's called the archer because there's a arch, I can't think of what it's called right now. And what is that? That is focus. That is pointing energy in a very particular direction, but not down and not backwards. That's pointing up. So we're moving into Sagittarius season. I love it because I'm a Sagittarius. So 3 weeks or so is my birthday. And but it's that idea, read the images, right? It's in the zodiac, it's just this archer looking arrow, but it's going up at an angle and it's going up. So it's like leading the way. And then the Jupiter is the planet or the god of this particular sign. And so that energy is Jupiter is going into Pisces for the last time in a long time. And Pisces is intuition and dreaming, but it's also boundaries. It's like not having the boundary. And but it means that the expansiveness of Sagittarius and Jupiter are going to affect you. And so what I want you to do right now is start to think about, what do you want to expand? Because it's going to happen. And what do you not want to expand? And or what do you want to shrink? And I'm going to do some light work with you right now. I did, when we took the break after the interesting things that were happening, I also spilled a glass of water all over the floor. So there was this water energy, this overflowing energy, or this spilling energy. Between the break, I cleaned that up, and I did some crystal bowls, and I did some copal, and I did some other energy work. So, and then I've been holding my obsidian, excuse me, and my Merlin stone, and in my palm portals. And so this is protecting, absorbing negativity, clearing out darkness of any kind. That could be negativity, fear, blocks, shadows, curses, I don't know, any form of energy that's not optimal for you. And this one is the third eye. This is the eye of Gaia. This is the eye of Merlin. This is a magic stone that works and sees between the worlds. So we have this activating the left palm. The left palm is the feminine energy or yin energy. We have the obsidian, clearing, cleansing, protecting. The right palm is masculine and it is yang. I'm looking at my other stones as I'm talking because they're all kind of speaking right now. And these are some of my favorite friends to come in to help us when we're looking to clear the energies. Okay, now take a nice deep breath in. How is it coming into you? Watch it. Does it form a shape, cross, a crystal? Does it go up? Does it go down? Does it sit in your heart and open it? You're ready to let it go. Gently release it. And again, just watch, where does that breath go energetically? It could go out 360 degrees, could go down through and around your body. Any direction, any color. Now in your heart, I want you to say, I am ready and willing to enter this sacred space in reverence, presence, love. And I ask to be a clear and open channel, highest good. Now feel yourself acknowledging this infinity healing chamber. And in this sacred space, these energies that form it bring you between the world to infinity, 0 point. The energies are lighter and expanded. And you feel yourself present. Now feel and sense higher self, your body elemental, all the different parts of you that are optimal for you to connect to right now. Feel them enter this sacred space with you and to communicate what it is that you would like to expand in the next week, month, with Jupiter, the heightened intuition. What is it you would like to expand? Time for more self-love, self-acceptance. Let the boundaries go, let the spirit expand, and yet to know how to learn, break cancer. Take a moment to receive or to share what you would like to expand. Okay, so now inside of this energy that you have given yourself, be in this sacred space as a clear and open channel to your highest good and what's optimal for you at this time. I'm your fairy godmother, Akasha. I hope that you'll join me at nanakasha.com. And we have a Black Friday sale going on. It's starting today. All throughout the day, we'll be adding more things. There was again some interesting technical glitches, so already there are some things up there, and throughout the week we're going to have some flash sales, and that will go out to our email list. So like I said, make sure you're on the email list at nanakasha.com. All right, so this is the intuitive astrology and energy forecast for this week. This is the third week of from the eclipse, and we're counting down 4 weeks out of the eclipse energy because it is such a powerful eclipse, with Uranus giving us a complete 180, a disruptive, potentially just absolute. It's a complete U-turn type of energy. and maybe not back to what you were, but at another level, like you've gone up a spiral staircase and you're coming back to that same place, but you're at another level. It is all for your awakening, and it could be hitting you in money, home, safety, foundation, earthly possessions, relationships, and for sure this idea of self-love, because this is coming up now even stronger with the energies that we are going to be encountering this week. So thank you for doing these, because as you educate yourself, then you're going to attune to the energies more. You're going to understand the flow of your life more. Then you're going to know when you're going through a rough spot, you're actually just rubbing off, releasing, completing who you've been, an old identity, an old belief, an old pattern, an old disease, an old, I don't know, anything is possible, and you're ready for it to let go. You need to be tuned in to become who you are. And this new moon this week is really good for abundance. So next, after this, we're going to do the meditation to go with these energies. Okay, so let's take a look. The peak of the new moon, which we are already feeling. Now, a new moon is a few things. Remember, it's darkness. When we're in darkness, things are hidden. Things are hidden from our perceptions. Things are hidden. That means other energies can come in. Maybe they're energies that you don't want, or maybe they're energies you want and you can't see them because of some belief that says you're not worthy. That's a dark or heavy energy. Okay, so this is a time right now, all the way through a few days after, so till maybe the 25th or 26th, most of this week, you want to realize you're walking in the dark. And what does that mean? It means that our sacred feminine, the moon, okay, this is the embodiment for us here on the earth of the divine feminine, the silver goddess ray, the 11th ray of creation. Get the chart of the rays of creation and the scale of consciousness free in shop.nanakasha.com, okay? Make sure you have these tools. It is embodying energy that for me here, I love Luna, the idea of the goddess Luna, light, and all the other sacred, feminine, divine energies I've experienced through years and years of doing ceremony with various different groups, goddess groups and shaman and native groups and Mayans and uh, Lakota Sioux and in Egypt and all these different things where the different feeling of what you connect to the moon energy, however, underneath it, it is the divine sacred feminine or yin or intuitive or receptive. Okay, it is the divine creator, but it is the womb. So the dark new moon also represents the womb, and the womb is the space of creation. And not where I live, but where all my family live, the leaves die and fall off the trees, and everything goes dormant. Some things die completely and don't come back, but most of them are reborn in the spring. So what are they doing? That is this time of year. So that energy is with us as well. And we're moving into Thanksgiving, which although it may be already happened, I think in Canada, and it's, other countries that celebrate something similar, it's not always the same date, but it is in the US this week. So we can all tap into that energy. And I love the energy of gratitude. So this is a creative time. You're going into the darkness of creativity. You're going into your womb. So like my students and my clients and me, maybe you're going through some of those deeper, darker energies. Maybe some old disease patterns are popping up in your body right now. Maybe old issues from an injury or something are coming back for some reason, or you're feeling completely ungrounded, or a lot of my students have felt at different times like their body is burning, like they're burning at the stake. And what do these things mean? You're having light body sickness, you're having light ascension, uh, nausea, headaches, expansion, stomach problems. I'm having a variety of things, including a sensation that I'm being strangled, and all the way up into where it was pressing under my jaw. for a while. Then it got better for a few days, and then it started coming back last night, and it felt exactly like a rope around my neck. And so these are just a few examples of the intense things that are coming up for people. There's a sensitivity issue. If you're already an empath, you're going into a month where you need help, you need protection. And I am going to be launching a class today that we will be doing before and maybe after the holiday season to support you how to cleanse and clear your home or your space or your office or your land, how to cleanse and clear yourself and realign with the optimal energies and make sure that no of other people's energies, especially those people who don't have any control over themselves and their energies, and they are just like little portals to negativity and they drag it around with them. Many of my students are realizing that yes, you have to move forward and change who you spend time with, what you watch, how much time you spend alone or in contemplation. You could be doing things around the house, you could be gardening or cooking. However, you're not listening to the TV or looking at Facebook, you're being in communion with yourself. Well, this is a really intuitive time. We have Pisces and Jupiter expanding it. Now it's good fortune energy, but expansive energy, which is why I asked you to think about what do you want to expand and what do you want to shrink. I want to remind you of the universal law of polarity. It says that all things are the same, just different in degree. The best way to think of it is like a thermostat. A thermostat, you could set it at 0 and you could set it at, I don't know what they go up to, let's just say 100. Okay. And that's like being in lack or abundance. It's the same energy, lack and abundance. So if you experience lack of support, lack of love, for lack of friends that you resonate with anymore, if you don't resonate with people anymore, you move on. And that's what a lot of people are doing right now. They're realizing that old friendships, old relationships, old jobs, old places where they live are not fitting who they're becoming. And this is extremely important because you are in a metamorphosis. And this is a time of planting. And you're planting seeds that will be coming to fruition. And then there'll be the solstice. And then we're going to move into 2023, which to me, the energies are the rising of the sacred feminine. And I'll share more about what that means to me later. So, expansion's the theme. And this week, with this expansive, abundant, happy sign of Sagittarius and that freedom horse energy, okay, with Jupiter in Pisces, which is expanding intuition. However, there's also this thing about Pisces going beyond, going through the veil, going beyond, removing boundaries. So you may need to really know how to protect yourself. And that's what this cleansing class is going to teach you, so that through the holidays, you're going to be able to protect yourself if you have to be around family or if you have to go back to a childhood place that triggers stress or old memories. I've done that several times. And each time I go intentionally and I go to connect to all the past me's in that place, and I go from a higher state of consciousness. So I've done my light body work. I've done my work. I've walked through my fears, whatever is being served to me. I accept it. I don't fight with it. I don't think of myself as a victim. I know I'm always supported. I'm always on my path. I'm on a fully funded mission. And I know right now I'm walking into a dark time, not an evil time, a time of inward. Okay, so we have Mars in retrograde, which is kind of cool because that's that really intense masculine, go, make it happen, let's fight conflict. So while that's in retrograde, kind of rethinking, old things may be coming up around conflict, but he's not out here triggering you to conflict. You want to tune into the sacred feminine energies of the new moon and the womb. And you want to understand that whatever seeds that you are thinking, that you are carrying, that you are focused on, that you are letting trigger you, is what you're planting. And it's going to be expanded. And then it's going to enter your intuition. Is it the energy you want in your intuitive field? You're awakening your intuitive field up. You need to get into the intuition awakening class. Every single person on the planet needs to do intuition awakening. Okay, it's on sale right now. You need to get it. You can have a big payment plan. You can take your time doing it, but please develop your intuition, because right now you're going to have a highly intuitive pathway, but you're going to be walking through the dark. You're going to be walking through the dark parts of you into your womb. Well, where's your womb? It's in your sacral center. That's the reason we have the sacral session on sale right now, because that means you have to go in and encounter your worthiness. Are you worthy of planting the seeds you really want? Because you have to signal your future self ahead. Even the scientists know you have to signal the genes ahead of time. Oh, I want to feel like this. I'm going to practice, visualize, mentally rehearse, whatever the hell you want to call it. You have to feel it. You have to think it. You have to give it some direction. Then you have to listen. Then you have to offer it to your higher self and let them take it, because they know better how to implement that and if it's actually for your highest good. However, if you don't do that, you're just willy-nilly walking along, creating your life that is being created. Could be tomorrow, could be 2 weeks from now, could be 2 years from now, but it's going very fast. So what you do today will change what you do tomorrow. I think it's extremely important to clear your sacral out right now, to go into your dreams pure with your guides, create a clear connection, know how to cleanse and clear your space, know how to cleanse and clear yourself, and that includes protection. All right. So in this course, I'm going to teach you how to and why the Infinity Healing Chamber works. I'm going to teach you the structure of activating your light body, every level of your being, and cleansing and clearing it, how to realign after you've been around somebody's negative energies, how to realign between clients or between home and work or between different roles that you play, how to cleanse after an argument or a conversation, any conversation. You should clear and cleanse yourself, your body, and your space. And I'm going to teach you all of that, plus some extra goodies of like what crystals are good, what incense is good, what sound is good, what are other tools that you can use that give you an extra added team helping you. Now, Jupiter is fortune energy, okay? And it's amplified by being the ruling planet of Sagittarius. So there's always this amplification. When you're in your birth month and before and after it, you're in your highest energies. Now, you may find that your high energies upset people. I was told as a child constantly, you're too happy, you're too loud, you're too whatever. And, it changed me because I took it on. I tried to change who I was. Like most people, I took on a lot of beliefs. I wasn't good enough. Being me wasn't good enough. And then that was my road. That paved my road through my life to complete a lot of soul contracts, to complete a lot of the old patterns that I carried into this life intentionally, because right now we can accelerate the healing, the completion. So your whole life, this life, has been to come to this moment. Even if you died yesterday, all right, and a lot of people are, they came to this moment, and this moment was a completion for them in some way. We don't get to know every detail about everybody else's spiritual soul plan, and most people don't know much about their own soul plan. So next year, I'm going to be doing some very interesting workshops with you about connecting to the future you that you most want to connect to. It's a new form of manifesting where instead of a bunch of other stuff, you literally recognize that there are an huge number, I don't know if it's infinite, but there are more than you could imagine, number of possible next yous. Tomorrow, yes, but 2 weeks, a month from now, some things still take a little time because of old beliefs that you have. So this is fortune energy. Fortune energy is walking with you through the dark. expansion energy. What if you tuned into your inner light? You said, okay, this is a chance for me to expand my intuition. This is a chance for me to do something that I don't become the victim of overwhelm because I'm empathic, I'm a sensitive, and I'm expanding. You don't need to do that. That's why I highly recommend that you do a course with me, you do some kind of work with me where you learn how to protect, activate yourself. It will change everything. It will change your fortune. It will change your beliefs of yourself. It'll change your income, your position. And then you will realize that certain people are no longer optimal for you. And you get to step into your path and be the creator of your reality by stepping out of certain circumstances and relationships instead of being a victim to them. So fortune energy to me, it's good fortune. It's joy, happiness, and play energy. It's expansive energy. It's powerful energy. All right, and Jupiter is the supreme God energy. So this is the supreme divine masculine or yang energy, and it is fully connecting. And then it's going to go from retrograde right now. So what is it doing right now in retrograde? It's more intimate with us in our subconscious. And the new moon is about subconscious and in the dark. So Jupiter is right now in the dark with you, in your subconscious, expanding things you need to see. So if it's coming up, believe that it's coming up for a reason, and it's going to bring you good fortune if you pay attention to what's coming up and you can release it. Okay. Now, this retrograde phase ending right after the new moon on the 23rd. So you've got the 23rd, the 24th, then it takes a few days to ramp up, but you're also already feeling Jupiter starting to shift from within to without. It's a little bit of a like waking up and coming up out of that archetypical underground, underworld, the womb, the within, and taking the expansion it is put there. So you have a chance between now and Thursday, I think it's Thursday, to plant these seeds without bringing fear into it. So cultivate it like you would a garden. Ask for it to be cleared out and receive. Put up your receptors, put up your welcome mat, open your doors to the fortune energy. Now, Jupiter is within the subconscious, and anything you plant will be amplified within, okay, in this feminine. So the divine masculine is doing exactly what it is meant to do. It is inside the womb, creating a safe, bringing the strength, this ability to build good fortune, philosophical. It's wise. It's not just, oh, let's just grow and grow. It's bringing growth energy. So receive it, talk to it, enjoy it. And this is a magical time because the intuition that you're going to experience isn't going to have this flavor for 12 years. And of course, at that point, we'll be different beings. We'll already have tipped into the next earth more consciously, and we will be individual spiritual creator beings that have an innate understanding and respect for all. And there isn't a need for rules and laws and jails and wars because everyone is being in a higher state of consciousness. So then as Jupiter goes direct and grows its forward momentum, it's in the sign of Pisces, which is why we're talking about Pisces. That's amplifying compassion, sensitivity, creativity, dreams, and spiritual awareness. This energy brings a philosophical perspective to emotions that do not allow you to expand. That's what we're talking about, the shit being pushed up, okay? The old fears, the old diseases, the old patterns that created a disease. You don't ever have something in the physical body that isn't formed on a mental, emotional, spiritual level. And those are the levels that you have to go to. It's usually a soul retrieval. It's usually some past life or a conglomeration of other lives, other energies with wound energy so intense within your soul and connected to you by agreement for your current soul blueprint that you actually become affected by it nonstop. So the forward movement of expansion energy, good fortune energy, is going from showering your womb. Imagine just receiving that and giving it permission to melt the old shame, melt the old fear. I had a daughter who died. I tried to get pregnant many, many, many years. I went through a lot of drama in that area. So that area still carries. I know it does, even with all the work I've done and how far I've been able to go. There's still every now and then something comes up in that area because it was so deep wound. And when it's a deep wound and you're carrying it and you're manifesting in your body, you are now having the ability to really see the communication trying to get loud and saying, listen, this is a part of your soul. This is a part somewhere. There's a block. There's a knot. I call them karmic knots. There's a vow. There's an agreement. I don't know where you're carrying it, how it's manifesting in your body. I scan you to see that. And what you do then is you want to recognize, okay, I'm giving that. And then as Jupiter starts to move forward, it's moving and creating more outward, more sun energy, more guidance energy, like clearing the path for you. So you're going to have that walking through this darkness, so to speak, and we're moving, we're still getting darker every day. So we get darker every day, we get less sunlight every day, so to speak, and till the solstice. And what happens is we have all these festivals coming up in Sagittarius in the December that are all about light. St. Lucia is actually on my birthday, and there's light festivals in Hanukkah and Christmas tree lights and solstice celebrations and candles and all kinds of light. I used to live in New Mexico, and they did these candelarias where you put little paper bags all around your walls and your driveway and put candles in them. And there's this idea of lighting a light that walks you through the darkness. So this is what we're beginning. We're doing this, and that's what this year is about. But it isn't about bad things. It is about accepting that there are things that are hidden that you need to release. There are powers and places within you that can tell you why and that can help you understand their strength and wisdom. And together you can release the vows that you have. And so this is all going to be amplified slowly, slowly, day by day, starting in the next few days. And it's going to amplify your sensitivity. That's why I say definitely do the cleanse and clear class, okay? And then it's going to amplify your creativity and expand it. Well, that's kind of fun. Could you set time aside to be a creative channel for what? For a new business, for a new product, for a painting, for a drawing? My children, I raised them with art, all the time art. My kitchen, some of the lower cabinets were just full of art supplies, and they were there because they were allowed to access it anytime they want. And we had a whole mudroom full of boxes and things, and they glued and they made mazes for their mice pets. And this is in them. So they still do it. They're 26 and they still do it. And we do it together. We each draw a theme and then we share it. And I was drawing yesterday and it had no purpose. And part of me was like, it should have a purpose. It should be part of a class. It should be part of your spiritual expansion. And I was like, no, my stomach was so sick on Saturday, I couldn't do my class. Again, what does it mean? I listened to it. Up to like 3 minutes before class started, I was like, I can do it. I can do it. And the minute I said, I'm sorry, I can't do it, I threw up. And then I went to bed for about a day and a half. And there was nothing really dramatic about the rest of it, but it was very clear that my body is going through some very strange changes. We're shifting into being able to embody a higher consciousness in a physical body. And this is the first time that it's been done. And we're coming from carrying a lot of heavy things. Why I do the work I do is to cleanse you, to connect you to your past lives, to help give you the power to change your mind, to change your energy, and then yourself, you can go forward. So as this builds, then realize that you should listen to your dreams. Maybe start a dream journal, put one in the bathroom or next to your bed. My daughter puts one next to her bed and she does quite well with it. I put one in the bathroom because if I get up to go to the bathroom during the night, it's sitting there and I can pick it up. And your spiritual awareness. So for my clients, this is an exciting time because compassion is acceptance and it's harmony in your mind and it's forgiveness in your emotional body. So this helps you transcend the things. However, you're not going to really know where you're going until you light this inner fire and you let it grow and you let Jupiter direct you and you give over that this divine masculine energy is building the road for you, is clearing the path, is tasting the food for you to make sure you don't get poisoned, right? It's like you're precious and important and this is clearing the way. Now, you're going to have a philosophical perspective because Jupiter, Sagittarius is also, you got the horse energy, you've got the freedom spirit energy of the horse, you have the centaur energy, that mythological. Well, what does that mean? Man and horse together. And they're often seen as powerful but gentle and able to connect to two worlds. They're earthy with the horse part of them, but they're a mythical creature, which to us is another realm that we may or may not believe in anymore, but we have a fascination with, and therefore there's a connection to it. So the philosophical part of Sagittarius is it's the wise man of the zodiac. And then, that's Capricorn. It is like the culmination, right, of the year in that it's a completion energy, but it's not, it's new energy, it's free energy. It's what we were talking about at the beginning about realizing that within, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you're helping it or not, it might be struggling, but you are transforming. So when the snake rubs over that rough and lets go of the old identity, the old skin, the old limits, the things that are just too tight, it already has formed its beautiful new body. And you have too. And the rattle represented the crown chakra in the ancient Maya. And so every time that it shed its skin, it had a new rattle. And what that meant was that it grew in its spiritual growth, and you have too. So this is a time to just open yourself to pondering, to receiving philosophical perspectives, to looking into the emotions instead of being sucked into the emotions. You need to understand that you have emotions that are triggered, that are automatic, that you have to interrupt the patterns to because they don't allow you to expand. And like the snake skin, your limits are feeling like they're becoming more restricted, right? And you're expanding and you don't feel comfortable and you're no longer willing to hide yourself, or you don't like the way that your family sees you, or you don't like the way that you've given all your power over to everybody else and you feel guilty all the time and you're worried about them and you're trying to fix everybody and serve everybody and you realize you can't do it, but you don't know how to unhook. And then you go through a rough patch where you realize, holy shit, I am not like these people anymore. They are not even good for me. They are toxic and I love them. And how do I move through the guilt of thinking that I need to stay friends with them, or I need to stay at this job, or I need to whatever, okay, whatever you feel stuck in. And Saturn and Uranus are ending their tug of war. So they've been going back and forth, stay and finish and do more, go out and start something new, go in a new direction, be yourself, awaken. So there's a lot of underlying meaning, and when you're in your subconscious or you're in your womb, you're going to encounter emotions and you're going to encounter limits and you're going to encounter your fears. So you may see increase, expansion first of pain or struggle or resistance. Watch, because if you get sucked into the distraction of fear, if your darker feelings grow bigger at first, it could be just an aggravation. I'm a homeopathic doctor, among other things. And so when you see someone react to a remedy, then their symptoms might get worse first, maybe like expand, like an in-breath, and then they start getting better. All right. Either way, if you start getting sucked into it, it means it's expanding. So it's fighting you. It's pulling out all of its tools to stop you. It's a belief from the past that is in a place that doesn't serve you anymore. And so if you're distracted by fear, if you find yourself looping in there, notice it, because there's always a silver lining with Sagittarius. All right. So they may take you through a dark dungeon of old, outdated fears. Go with it, accept it, give your time yourself time to walk through it. Do a soul session with me, do some kind of thing. There's a lot of different sessions on sale. There's a 4-week journey with me into your soul, the soul discovery package, which is on sale, which is never on sale. So I highly recommend that too, because you get an opportunity to go with me week by week and we see what comes up and we talk during the week if you need it. And you can email me, we can jump on for 15 minutes or so in between. And I'm helping walk you through this journey. Right? So whatever is unfolding for you at the time that you use it. So if you're walking deeper into your darkness, you're not doing anything wrong. Pay attention, stay present. Don't go into fear. Stop judging yourself that you're doing a wrong thing. Look for the silver lining. Realign to the centaur energy. Realign to the light. Okay? The darkness of the moon doesn't mean that the divine feminine is missing. It means that she's turned into a black hole. She's turned into a completely receptive space. That means you can sink into it. You can be loved by it. She is there. She just seems like she's not there. And this is why your intuition expanding right now is awesome. So if you go through a dark dungeon of outdated fears, you're going to emerge with treasures. You're going to emerge wiser and stronger. There's always goodies if you do the work. So stop seeing anything as wrong or bad. Disconnect from those thoughts and beliefs instantly. Write it down. Make it your top priority because it is completely interrupting the communication that is coming through to you. There's so much intuitive communication coming through right now. It is out of control. And you need to tune your light body so that you can receive it and you can keep up with the energies that are coming. So be aware that if the bad emotions or perspectives are getting bigger and overwhelming you, you're noticing the news, you're feeling doomed, whatever it is, it's the energy of increase. The energy of increase, you can dial, remember, you can dial up to expand more, or the other end of expand is shrink. The same way lack and abundance are two ends of the same energy. So expanding, amplifying, increasing these energies that are around, although you're walking in the dark, you're quietly planting seeds. You want to know really well what you're planting. So what would you do? You're going to turn the dial and shrink the energies that you're afraid of because it's in your hand. You're going to say, oh, yes, I'm walking through this because I am on my hero's journey and I'm going to emerge from my death, archetypical death of whatever who I was yesterday or this 2 minutes ago. Okay. So if you're getting overwhelmed, then you come back into your center. Okay. Then ask this energy to channel to the heart and remember that you are the center of your being. And it is your beliefs and other energies in your light body that are drawing the energy of expansion into the fear. So you may not think you're doing it, but your light body is doing it because of the programs it has. It's just like a computer that has certain programs in it. So it always does this. It always erases all your emails or something, whatever. Okay. And you feel like you're cut off or, I'm muted. Nobody can hear me, these kind of things. So this is a moment of re-empowerment. This is an opportunity to plant seeds of your new direction, identity, finances, relationships, and more. We're the 3rd week out of the eclipse. 3 is divine feminine. 3 is coming from unity into trinity. So you're coming closer to what did that eclipse do? Where did it turn you to? Where is it awakening, disrupting, or changing the direction of your life? And then finances, identity, relationships, these are typically. So without clearly knowing why, what, who, and how, right? Surrender and allow yourself to expand with light and joy and understanding and harmony and acceptance and peace and love. So get the scale of consciousness and choose the energies you want to be in your future life. Decide that you're going to be re-empowered during this journey and not scared of the dark. Not scared of yourself, not scared of the parts of you that you've hidden or locked away, not scared of the parts of you that took agreements and oaths to never use your intuitive powers or speak up or heal people or whatever. Be happy. My energy was too big, and recently that was reaffirmed to me from certain parts of my family that you take over everything. And I was like, wow, I've been doing my own things, cleaning my own stuff, making no extra work, offering to help. And yet the perception was my energy was so big. So it's okay. Just be aware that your energy is bigger than you've allowed it to be, that you can have more clear knowing, and let yourself expand and choose what you want to expand. Light, joy, understanding, acceptance, peace, love. Okay, Pisces and Jupiter gives us an all new wave of emotional abundance. So choose wisely. What do you want to expand emotionally, as well spiritually and intuitively, and then in all those levels of whatever or wherever this is hitting your chart right now. For me, it's bang on to my sun sign, right? So abundance will dawn in spiritual love, higher level awareness, and a closing of patterns from the last year and a half. The eclipse redirection energies week 3 begins, so we'll get to see the new seeds we're planting. And the expansive energies of Jupiter can expand anything, so you want to be a clear channel for what's optimal to grow in your life. It can expand and bring a silver lining to your finances, to your opportunities, and your confidence or your intuition. So remember that silver lining. If you decide it's there and you believe it's there, then you start to look for it. Then every energy that is making you up has to show it to you. Have to find it. So Jupiter and Sagittarius energies will expand your viewpoint so you can see that silver lining, your inner vision, your multidimensional vision, your divine vision. Or you can let it expand your fear, lack, loss, and being stolen from. So whatever you focus on, that will be what expands. Energy can be used in any way, good or bad, quote unquote. So you are good, yet your inner fears can be attracting, expanding fear or feeling of being a victim or losing things or having your money, friends, or powers, job lost or something like this. So if you feel your foundation is being threatened in some way or you believe that that's possible, then you're carrying that somewhere. So it's better to acknowledge the fears you're carrying, to go in and accept the deeper inner blocks of these things. And the new moon energies are wonderful because they're going to accelerate the growth of your seeds and the new reality, and they're planting them within, and they're going to compost a lot of that old shame energy if you give permission for these seeds to be planted. So be a clear and open channel for what is optimal to expand and look for the riches, the fortune, and the happiness. That's the real energy. However, it's like we said, it's very important that you begin to develop and master your intuition, trust yourself, expand your ways of receiving communication. It is absolutely blowing my mind what my Intuition Awakening students are doing. They're accessing such clarity. I taught them recently a new technique of going into the Akashic Records and working with a council, but the council is different every time except for certain elements. And who they're connecting to, how they're seeing that they connect to these guides, where they're taken, what kind of energies they believe, and constantly running into their beliefs. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. You can't do a scan or a healing on yourself, whatever. Any beliefs that are embedded in them, any agreements or these energies, doesn't matter where they are, chakras, mind, emotions, whatever, wherever they're embedded, they're there. And the sooner you, if they're poking at you, instead of trying to get away from them or ignore them or be mad at them or judge them, accept them. And suddenly now you're on your path. You're in exactly the place you were meant to be. You know you have everything you need. So what else can you play with? Expanding. So expanding your intuitive senses. How about your understanding? Your understanding of yourself or the moment, or you're expanding your compassion because you don't want to judge yourself and others and everything that's happened and what hasn't happened because you don't want to play the victim anymore. That's a real choice that's happening now. Do we want to play the victim? Do we want to keep the world mindset and mentality in this out of balance state? And it's not going to stay this way because we're waking up and it's happening in a crooked and shaky way, and there's earthquakes happening within our foundation of self and what's important, and that's okay because we have to change. So what else do you want to expand? If you wish to expand your circle of friends, maybe your connections, maybe your opportunities, you want to expand your ability to be calm, wise, reverent, joyful, but especially to yourself. So take your position as a creator and start to ponder, what do you want to expand? As above, so below. What is the complementary aspect of expanding? Shrinking. So now, what do you want to shrink or release and be done with? You can ask, choose, allow, and support that. So I would recommend that you start writing that down. You start channeling that now so that when you go into the meditation with me, this is most likely what will come through. So the universal law of polarity, I told you everything is the same, just different in degrees. And then you think of the opposite, you'll discover the position you're in. If you see 0 to 100 and you see that you were really, really in lack, then maybe you're at 10. And if you went to 30 or 40 or 50, right in the middle between lack and abundance, you didn't just go all the way up to $80 bazillion. You just went somewhere close to the center. You would be shocked at the shift in your consciousness, what you see, what you receive, what you enjoy, how different your life is. So you have that dial in your hand. Okay, you have that dial in your hand. I want you to see it and feel it. So similar to the rocks that I was holding in my palm portals, these activate your crown chakra, and you can then move to a new location on the scale. Jupiter is going to go direct and grow its forward momentum. In Pisces, we already said that. Yep, we already saw this. So watch Jupiter expands everything. We've really talked about that. So we don't want you to get sucked in, and the darker feelings may grow. And we want you to say, align with the expanding abundance, wherein Sagittarius is our most happy and magical self. So we're going to have this energy of Jupiter and Pisces, or we're not going to have, okay, that's supposed to say we're not going to have this energy for like 12 years. So it's very magical. Your intuition is going to expand. Pisces is very spiritual. It will help you go beyond your boundaries and limits in your spiritual beliefs, connections, sensitivities, fears. Since Jupiter is good luck, it will help you to take a break because the answers you've been waiting for are here. So you're going to really start to notice the answers. Oh, wow, the answer is here. I didn't notice it. This has been happening to me a lot. Oh, it's right in my face. It's practically talking to me, but I'm hearing it and seeing it, but not paying attention to it. So really take a look. Jupiter is a teacher and helps you learn new things. So in this energy, you need to focus on self-acceptance, self-love, self-compassion, and make sure that you protect yourself because your intuition is going to be heightened and you'll be more vulnerable to other people's energies. Okay, so go to shop.anakasha.com for the Black Friday sale. We don't have everything up yet, and we're going to have some flash sales during the week, so check in every week. These are some of the things that have gone on sale. There's an intuitive manifesting workshop that is 5 or 6 hours, half price. $50 off of the private sessions like Magnetize the Beloved. You have a money, belief, and block cleanse and rewiring. Very important right now, especially in this energy. That's $50 off the session. There's meditations half off like the White Tiger Journey. There's classes half off like Release. This is this was like a course that was created last year, I think, by request. We went through a class, I think it was the Soul Star Awakening, and people were so stunned at what happened with being able to connect to their higher self in these different ways, which is also on sale, that they wanted this because we noticed all of these patterns coming up that made you feel stuck. So this is only $150 now for the whole course, and it's all about freeing yourself from stuck, blocked energies, okay? The Soul Star Awakening is about higher self. That's on sale. And Pineal Awakening, which is your crown, which is your antenna to connect to all the different levels. Very important. They're all half off. So incredibly affordable. And we have more coming. We have the new cleanse course coming. We've got some, the shame cleanse, I think it's going on sale. So there's a lot of things that are happening and you can connect. We're going to go now into our meditation. So I will see you soon on the multidimensional meditation where we'll take everything we just learned about and we'll walk through it so you can use that meditation to access these energies we talked about and use them. Understand what you're going through and why. What is the most optimal thing for you to focus on this week given these energies that we're talking about? All right. Namaste. So honored to be here, beloved. Please send me a message if there's something you would like to hear, if there's a guest you would like to have on the show, and also if there's a topic that I can answer. Thanks so much. Namaste.